guys, we are back with another song. What are we doing?
By Eminem. So it's Dr. Dre featuring Anderson .Paak, Eminem, and Candice Pillay. I'm not sure how to say her name.
Okay.
Yes, so it's off Dr. Dre's 2015 album Compton. I don't believe I've ever showed you the song. Have you ever heard this?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know where you would have heard it besides me.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, it's really good. There's
Yeah, a bunch of people requested it.
yeah, there's Eminem got some shit at the time for one specific line. I think you'll be able to tell which line that is.
Okay.
So we'll do what we usually do. We'll listen to it. We'll break it down as we go.
Sounds good.
And again, we are sponsored by Manscaped. Got the Performance Package 4.0. Comes with the Lawnmower 4.0. Has the really cool light when you're using it, so you can see what you're doing. Has the ceramic blade. It's waterproof, so all that, it helps reduce ingrown hairs, nicks. You can use it in the shower. It's great. That package comes with the attachments for the lawnmower, so you can adjust what size hair you want. It comes with the ear and nose hair trimmer separately, which is cool. It also has the crop reviver and the crop preserver, also known as ball deodorant and ball toner. Very cool. And it also comes with this travel case, which is awesome. And boxer briefs, which I love. I always talk about that.
They're soft.
Yes, and you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code WITHSMITH at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code WITHSMITH. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Your balls will thank you.
And the link for that's in the description below.
Yes.
You can also check out Carnivore Snacks, which is one of my favorite meat snacks. It is only grass-fed beef chuck, and this one is the beef chuck flavor, and Redmond real salt, 2 ingredients, very minimal, very good. And it tastes like kind of like a meat potato chip, which sounds funny, but it's absolutely incredible, and I'm addicted to them. And you can use our same exact coupon code with Smith for 15% off your order, and the link's in the description below. Also, my favorite beef jerky, also one of my favorite meat snacks, is Chomps. It's got only grass-fed or free-range meat, depending on the flavor that you get. And it's got minimal ingredients, everything you can understand and pronounce, 90 calories, like you can't go wrong. It's super soft, delicious, and very moist. And the best beef jerky I've ever had ever. You can just, You can use the same promo code with Smith for 10% off your order and an additional 10% off subscriptions, and the link is in the description below. And also use this coupon code, same one, for SeatGeek to get $20 off your very first purchase. If you're in the market for like concert tickets or sporting events, like anything, they have it. And they're a great site to work with. We have used them before we were sponsored by them, and it was a seamless and very easy experience, and I highly recommend it. And the link for that's in the description below as well. And also check out our Amazon storefront if you want to. Like and subscribe. Follow us on social media channels if you want to. And that's it for me. I'm tired today.
So am I. We woke up very early, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's very early for us might not be very early for other people, like 6 in the morning. But I'm like an 8 a.m. person because I don't have to work until 9 and I work from home. And he doesn't wake up till 8 either and starts work at 9 as well. So, yeah, it's a lot. I'm not used to it. And it was 2 days in a row.
What sucks. All right, here we go. Medicine Man, Dr. Dre, Eminem, everybody else.
Doc, you gotta give us some good news.
Yeah, about that.
Don't let me find out the bitch in you. Don't let me find out the snitch in you. Fame and fortune, it's not your forte. Fuck the world now, I'm done with foreplay. Doctor's orders, go fuck yourself. Take 2 a days in the morning, overdose and kill yourself. Doctor's orders.
Listen, this is my evaluation. This shit oversaturated. Y'all can get evacuated. Head sipping activists and they ain't even activated. Married to the internet, stuck in place salivating. Ain't nobody graduating. Don't nobody love this shit the way I love it. That's why I gotta hate it. Everybody off of fame. That ain't no exaggeration. Damn, I'm getting aggravated. Fuck, I'm getting agitated. amputated. Teachers so underpaid in these fucking schools. The police got our name in all their databases. Girls be 13, acting 22. Niggas be 44, acting half their ages. Somebody tell me what the fuck is going on. These niggas in tight shit, I'm in the fucking matrix. It's looking like a sign of the revelation. About time of the return of the fucking greatest. I got all these patients, man. How come they ain't patient with me? They just think I want the money. Why when I can take it with me? Y'all don't do it for the love not. They gon' find out who you are, just admit it for you get it, niggas.
Okay. All right. So yes, now that we've played it, you've definitely never heard this, right?
No, I like it.
It's good. It's got a great beat.
Yeah.
It's very good. Okay, so it starts off, Doc, you got to give us some news, and then he says, yeah, about that, meaning, it's not a good prognosis. So then she starts off with, don't let me find out the bitch in you, don't let me find out the snitch in you. So
don't be bitch and don't snitch.
yes. And then she comes in with the chorus, fame and fortune, it's not your forte. Fuck the world now. I'm done with foreplay. So
Okay. A little cryptic, like I'm unsure like what exactly she's talking about, or like obviously like fuck the world she's done with like the worlds, but fame and fortune is not your forte. Like I don't know what's going
So
on.
if you notice, like in like Dre's verse, he has like a critique of rappers, but mostly society, right? And everything. And like that he's been a staple in hip hop. He has those lines that allude to it, that he really loves this. And like everybody else, like they don't love it the way he loves it. They're not really they're not as good as like him and
Yeah.
Eminem. Then it continues, doctor's orders, go fuck yourself. Take 2 a day. Okay, so I don't think that's what it says here. I have the lyrics on my phone as usual. So the lyrics here say, take 2 of these in the morning, overdose and kill yourself. Doctor's orders. So
All
that's
right.
very funny. So obviously Dr. Dre, it's a play on, him being a doctor for hip hop, stuff
Yeah,
like
and he's
that.
basically saying like anyone who he thinks like sucks
Yeah,
should just kill themselves.
exactly. All right. So then Dr. Dre comes in sounding very different. I don't know if you're familiar enough with his voice, the songs we've done,
Kind of, and yeah, it does sound different.
the
I
audio.
like the way he's rapping here. The Dr. Dre songs that we've done with Eminem, I haven't really liked them, but I like this one.
Yeah, this is good. So he said, listen, this is my evaluation. The shit is oversaturated. Y'all can get evacuated. Kids sipping activists and they ain't even activated.
So too many people in the rap game, they need to flesh out anyone who sucks.
Yes. And then the kids sipping activists. It's so funny. We just spoke about that
Yeah,
yesterday.
because I wouldn't have known what that meant if yesterday didn't
Yeah,
happen.
the Chloroseptic remix. 2 Chainz mentioned ACT, which was Activist, which is the pharmaceutical company that
Yeah.
makes lean, promethazine, codeine, all that stuff.
And they ain't even activated, meaning like their raps just suck.
Yeah,
Like
and they're
it's not even.
and they're lazy. You know what I mean? They're just
Yeah.
like getting high and stuff. Then he continues, married to the internet, stuck in place, salivating. Ain't nobody graduating. Don't nobody love this shit the way I love it.
So no one's like getting better or more famous at rapping,
So yes,
right?
rapping, but I feel like it's also like a cultural critique.
Oh yeah.
So he's just saying, people are just on the internet. They're not doing anything with their lives. They're not graduating.
Yeah, like not reaching their full potential.
Yes, and nobody loves hip hop in particular the way Dre does. He says, that's why I gotta hate it. Everybody out for fame. That ain't no exaggeration. Damn, I'm getting aggravated. Fuck, I'm getting agitated. Teachers so underpaid in these fucking schools. The police got our names in all their databases. So
Okay.
he's saying people are in this shit for the wrong reason, right? It makes him angry.
Like they just want fame and money.
Yes. And then
But
and then he goes on to a societal critique of teachers not making enough money. And then the police has their names in databases. So, the police are harassing them or, whatever, following them, tracking them, waiting for them to mess up.
I mean, aren't most famous people out for fame? Like they're not like, no, don't talk about me. Don't make me famous.
So
Like they
I think a lot of people want the fortune and not necessarily the fame. Or, we hear Eminem talk about a lot. He wants like the recognition and the respect from his other rappers and I guess the audience, but not necessarily the fame part. Do you know what I mean? Which is a weird oxymoron.
yeah.
Yeah. Then Dre continues, girls be 13, acting 22. dudes be 44 acting half the ages. So young girls are acting older than they are. They're being matured and sexualized too early in life.
It's even worse now.
Yes. And then men are acting like children.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Then he says, somebody tell me what the fuck is going on. These dudes in tight shit. I'm in the fucking Matrix, which is so funny.
So when did the song come out?
2015.
So we're talking about like his skinny jeans and stuff.
Yeah, the tight clothing. And
Yeah.
he's like, what's going on? Then he says, it's looking like a sign of the revelation. About time of the return of the fucking greatest. I got all these patients, man. How come they ain't patient with me? They think I want the money. Why, when I can't take it with me? So it's looking like a sign of the revelation. So, like Armageddon, in the Bible. So he's like, oh, it must be the end times. Everything's so fucked up. Then he says, it's about time the greatest return. So I'm assuming him and Eminem. And then he says, I have all these patients. How come they can't be patient with me? So, people are waiting for years and years for his albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's saying, it's not about the money because I can't take the money with me when I die.
True.
Yes. And then he says, yo, don't do it for the love not. They're going to find out who you are. Just admit before you get admitted. So you don't do it for the love, right? So they want the fame and the fortune, like he was
Yeah.
saying.
So they're not really like putting all their heart and soul into it.
Yes. And then people are going to see who you are, right? And then he says, just admit before you get admitted. So it's obviously a play on the doctor, admitting somebody,
Yeah.
before you die, all that. All right, so this is where we left off. This is going to be a weird place to pause. I don't know where I'm going to pause. All right, we'll figure this out.
Get it, get it.
Say, what you living about? Fuck you gon' tell me. Do you remember the way it started out? No, you looking lost now. You are best. Fake it till you make it. Take your little paper, but when you look in the mirror, your credibility's gone now. I'd rather be hated on for who I am than to be loved for who I'm not. That's worth to die. Fame and fortune, it's not your forte. Fuck the world now. I'm done with foreplay. Doctor's orders. Go fuck yourself. Take 2 days in the morning, overdose and kill yourself.
In the beginning, a few of the people who had a problem I was this good scoffed. I just shook off, probably reminded you of the first time you saw Tiger Woods golf. Never thought about how much my race and nationality meant, but based on how I ascended, see how plain it was now they want me to jet. But no one really gave a fuck about my descent, till I took off. Mistook me because I looked soft, but I stood tall, I just followed them. So I rose and grew balls, told these hoes to screw off. Decided opposing you was what I'm supposed to do. All I did was say what I'm feeling when the vocal booth calls, and had you on pins and needles. When I spoke to you all, you felt my pain. It's almost like I poke voodoo dolls, and I hope my spirit haunts the studios when I'm gone. My picture jumps off a poster and just floats through the halls, and fucking goes through the walls like the ghost of Lou Rawls. Karma's headed for Armageddon, and drama said I'm going in. Already got an arm in head, and whoever said words to this verse ain't heard me word of my give. Fucking my image even ends up taking a personal hit. Whoever I heard or whatever bridges I burn in this bitch, and whatever bitches feel like they didn't deserve what they get, and whatever consequences come with every verse is worth it. So die, turn a beat on whose turn is it to get murdered on it. And here's to all the years I spent towing the line overtime. Sure as the mold is blind in my mind, I'm still underground as a groundhog, and I'ma go for mine. Like a hole for road is trying to dig up some gold and diamonds are cold to find. No sign of slowing these lines on my nines. I just load up the most spines and open fire with a closed mind. All I needed was someone to co-sign. Been an assault rifle with the sniper scope for this whole time. Take 1, say when the blast, just give me the order. I spray pain in the ass, like a shot in the ass with a paint gun. Ain't no one safe from non-believers, there ain't none. I even make the bitches I welcome. I'm waiting on someone to say something. Dre, make the bass pump and let the tape run. For old time's sake, I spit it straight through. This is take 1. The moment you're waiting for is come, but the
fame and fortune, it's not your forte. Fuck the world now. I'm done with foreplay. Doctor's orders. Go fuck yourself. Take 2 days in the morning, overdose and kill yourself. Doctor's orders. Doctor's orders.
I will say it doesn't sound like she's saying take 2 in the morning.
So
Like I'm trying to hear it and I just don't hear it.
I did hear it, so especially on the end. We could check it out when we get to the end again. Okay, so Yeah, we finished Dre. Okay, so Anderson .Paak has like this tiny little bridge here in the
Yeah.
song. He says, "Say what you living about. Fuck you gonna tell me. Do you remember how you started out though? You looking lost now. You want to pass? Oh damn." So he's just like saying like, what are you guys doing? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You remember how you started out, but now you don't have that hunger anymore. You know what I mean? You're not really in it. Fake it till you make it. Take your little paper book. When you look in the mirror, your credibility's gone now. I'd rather be hated on for who I am than to be loved for who I'm not. That's word to the doc. So
Okay.
he's saying he's real, everybody else isn't. They're
Yeah.
fake, they don't have credibility, all that shit. All right. Then it goes back to her. She does the chorus, and then Eminem has a long ass verse here. All right. So he says, in the beginning, a few of the people who had a problem, I was this good, scoffed. I just shook off. Probably reminded you of the first time you saw Tiger Woods golf. So, he's saying people hated on him, but he shook them off. And then he says, reminding you that the first time you saw Tiger Woods play golf. So there's an obvious parallel there between Tiger Woods being black in a predominantly white sport and Eminem being white in a predominantly black, industry. So that's what he's talking about. Then he said, never thought about how much my race and nationality meant, but based on how I assent, see how plain it was. Now they want me to jet.
Which is funny because like ascends, like a plane ascends and descends.
Yeah, there's a few of these here. Um, See how plain it was. Now they want me to jet. No one really gave a fuck about my descent till I took off.
No, and another took off.
Yeah, so he's talking about, his race. He didn't realize how it played into it. But yes, like you pointed out, he says ascent, plane, jet, descent, and took off. So
Plane
yeah,
scheme.
it's really cool.
Or jet scheme.
Yeah, flying, whatever it is. And then he says, mistook me because I look soft, but I stood tall. I just follow and then you hear the sample
Yeah,
come
that
in,
was
doctor's
cool.
orders. He says, so I rose and grew balls, told these hoes to screw off, decided opposing you is what I'm supposed to do. Alls I did was say what I'm feeling when the vocal booth calls and had you on pins and needles when I spoke to you all. So
Okay.
his flow is so fucking good on this.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I mean, so this is relatively straightforward. People thought, oh, he's like a corny, skinny white boy. You know what I mean? He's not good. And then he said he had balls, and then he went after everybody.
Mhm.
And he just said what he was really feeling, and people felt it. You know what I mean? Then he continues, you felt my pain. It's almost like I poked voodoo dolls, and I hope my spirit haunts the studios when I'm gone. My picture jumps off a poster and just floats through the halls and fucking goes through the walls like the ghost of Lou Rawls.
I don't know who that
So
is.
he's like an old singer from like the 70s and stuff.
Okay, it just
Yeah,
rhymes.
he was an artist. Yeah. So that's cool though. You feel his pain and then he equates it to voodoo dolls, which is a nice little, tie in there. And then he says when he's gone, he hopes, people remember him. And then he does this like long analogy of the spirit, haunting, and then his picture jumps off the poster, and then yeah, like a ghost, which is sick. All right. And then he continues. So then he like changes his flow here. The beat changes again a little. So it changed when his verse first started, and then it kind of does again. And he like really goes aggressive even more here. He says, Karma's headed for Armageddon, the drama setter. I'm going in, already got an arm and head in, which I love the way that
Because it
sounds.
sounds like Armageddon.
Yeah. Then he says, and whoever said words are just words can't hurt me more than I give a fuck. So is that the actual line? Let me see. That sounds weird, right? Um, he says, whoever said words are just words ain't heard me word 'em. So they've
Okay.
never heard him word words. And then he says, I give a fuck even if my image ends up taking a personal hit. Whoever I hurt or whatever bridges I burned in this bitch, and whatever bitches feel like, they don't deserve what they get. And whatever consequences come with every verse, it's worth it. So Doc, turn on the beat. Whose turn is it to get murdered on it? So yeah, he's saying how good he is with his words.
Mhm.
He doesn't care. Nobody can hurt him. He doesn't care if he takes a personal hit, his image. He'll burn all his bridges. He's gonna, spit like the best he can.
Yeah.
And then obviously Dre, turn on the beat. He's gonna murder people. All right. And then he says, and here's to all the years I spent towing a line to overtime. I'm sure as always, I'm sure as I'm always lying in my mind. So hold on. Again, this is another one that I'm not sure. As sure as a mole is blind, in my mind, I'm still underground as a groundhog, and I'm a gopher mine.
Oh, like gopher.
Yes, so he does this. Yeah, so he does this crazy scheme here. All right, so first, let me go back up here. The first line where he says, "To all the years I spent towing a line to overtime." So I mean, overtime. I guess he's just putting in, so towing the line. He's been doing what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to be rapping, doing all that. So he just, but he did it like more hours than he was even required. He put in the time and effort.
Is that also kind of saying like he recognizes that he's getting older now and like, you know, I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, he's saying he did it for years. You know what I mean? So that's like acknowledging that he's been doing it for years. So by default, he's older. You know what I mean? And then he said, as sure as a mole is blind, I'm still underground as a groundhog and I'm a gopher mine. So he does mole, underground, groundhog, gopher. And then he continues and he says, like a whole furrow, just trying to dig up some gold and diamonds and coal to find. So furrow is like another, like a digging thing.
Yeah.
And then he actually says dig up. So yeah, that's sick. All right. And then he says, I'm starting to slow and these lines full of, again, I don't know if this is worded right. Let me see. Okay. This is literally the exact opposite. The line is no signs of slowing. These lines are my nines. I just load up the most rhymes and open fire with a closed mind.
So gun scheme.
Yeah,
That's cool.
but I love that he opens fire with a closed mind, which is so
Yeah,
funny.
that's a good line.
Yeah. So yes, we've heard this from him before, but he uses, guns and ammunition as his lines, his bars, like all that. Then he says, all I needed was someone to co-sign. Been a doctor's assault rifle with the sniper scope for this whole time. So he's just saying, oh, he was always ready to go crazy, but he just needed someone to co-sign, which Dr. Dre did.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he's the assault rifle with the sniper scope the whole time. Sniper scope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he's killing shit with Dre. Then he says, day one, set with the. Okay. I gotta.
With the blasters.
Yeah.
What
So
does that
he says something.
mean?
So he says, day one, say when to blast. Just give me the order. I spray. Pain in the ass. You'll get shot in the ass with a paint gun. And ain't no one safe from. Non believers, there ain't none. I even make the bitches I rape come.
Oh my God.
So that's the line I was referring to that
Yeah,
he
I
got a lot of.
figured right when I heard that. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, it's that one.
that's a wild line. But yeah, so he's continuing the gun scheme. He's just shooting, killing, for Dr. Dre. I just swallowed my spit.
Nice.
Muted the mic. All right. Yeah, sorry. So he does this scheme.
Okay.
Yes, I'm like choking on my spit still. So he says, "Give the orders. I spray." Right. So like he's referring to like spraying the gun, like a
Yeah.
real gun, right?
Yeah.
But then he goes pain in the ass, gets shot in the ass with a paint gun. So the paint is kind of like spray paint scheme.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It kind of
okay.
tie in there. And he's saying nobody's safe. And there's literally no non-believers. There's nobody that doesn't believe him anymore. And to emphasize that, he's saying that the women that he rapes come, which is so. Is that an oxymoron? I don't know. It's probably a subject we shouldn't even discuss, but I don't know if that's an oxymoron or not. I'm not sure if it's a possible thing. All right. Anyway, he continues. He says, I'm waiting on someone to say something. Dre, make the bass pump and let the tape run for old time's sake. I spit it straight through. This is take one. The moment you're waiting for has come, but and then it picks up with fame and fortune. That's your forte. So
Nice.
he's just waiting. He's going to go off. Dre, hit the beat. So this is actually true. This is very interesting. He says, I spit it straight through. This is take one. He recorded this in one take. Like,
Interesting.
yeah, that's unheard of. It very rarely happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually, they're
You like mess up or you're like, wait, what was my line? And
or you're
like,
like, oh, let me do it better this way, or
yeah.
they do things called punches, where like they'll insert certain lines, certain things to say you run out of breath or something, you know what I mean, and you can't finish it. So he did this all in one take.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's sick. And then yeah, that's it. It just fades out with the chorus. So I actually on this chorus I did hear in the morning if you want to listen.
Again?
It says take two of these. Is it in the morning, overdose and kill yourself? Take two of these in the morning, overdose and kill yourself. All right, here we go. We're gonna hear it.
I know, I'm done with foreplay. Doctor's orders. Go fuck yourself. Take 2 days in the morning, overdose and kill yourself.
Okay, she just says it really freaking
Two of
fast.
these in the morning. Yeah, she like cuts it. It's like off kind of.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Medicine Man.
It was really good. It's very impressive. I like her voice a lot.
Yeah.
Everyone's rhymes were great. Like their rap schemes. Eminem's was the best, and then I would say Dr. Dre and then Anderson.
Yeah, Innocent Pac only had like a very little.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a very complicated little bit.
No. So this is like a very good song. It sounds good as like a song, right? Because
Yeah.
like you could have, I feel like you could have played this on the radio, not content wise, but like the sound of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's got a good beat. It's like really cool that like people that don't listen to rap for like the bars or the lyrics, like could enjoy it. You know what
I
I'm saying?
agree.
But yeah, Dre was actually really good on this,
Yeah,
his lines, the way he sounded. Not sure if Eminem wrote this verse for him. That happens a lot
maybe.
on songs they're on together.
But yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, and obviously Eminem's incredible. His scheme, his cadence, the way he flowed, all that shit. It's incredible.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yes,
Very impressive.
for sure.
But yeah, so definitely check out Manscaped, Carnivore Snacks, Chomp, SeatGeek, Amazon storefront, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See,
Bye.
bye.